Welcome back to your weekly Channeled Inspiration and Oracle Guidance. I'm Kathleen L., and I assist parents who've lost a child to suicide to move through their pain and sorrow so they can be in the present, feel the peace, and find purpose in what life is about after they've experienced such a traumatic loss. I do that because I lost my son in 2010 to suicide, and I've come to know that while his physical presence is no longer, his energetic presence is all around me. So thank you for joining me. I am grateful to be back with you live. Each week I do a channeled inspiration. I receive information from above, from source, and then I share that with you. Then we draw 3 cards from an oracle deck to give you a little information for the week, which today is the angel guide from Kyle Gray. And and then I just share with you those 2 avenues and venues of which you can receive information. And hopefully that will be helpful for you this week. Just a PSA is that over the next 2 Mondays, I will be putting up recordings, not lives. They will be a live recording, of course. I will be on a plane both of those Mondays, so I will not be able to be here with you. Actually, I think it's the next 3 Mondays, but it will be a live recording, and I will put up those live recordings as we go. So your channeled inspiration today and for the week, you can, the inspiration, I didn't say this, but for all of you, this is whether you're watching this live or recording, the messages are meant for you as well. And you can receive something from that if it works. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, just move on by. This is for the collective. So hopefully you'll receive something from it. The inspiration that I received for you is to do something different this week. For those of you who have experienced a loss in your life, it is difficult to step out into the world a little differently than where you are right now. It can be difficult. And if you're doing it alone, know that you have a community, that you don't have to do it alone. You can do it with me or with others. There are plenty of ways to build a community around you so where you don't feel so alone. That's one way that you could step into your journey a little differently. We get caught up in the pain and in the suffering. There's all kinds of ways that we are thinking about the loss, that our life is no longer going to be supportive and happy and joyous, and all the other words that might come into you, whatever you might be thinking or feeling. And please go ahead and put it in the comments. If you have a certain feeling that you feel like you're stuck in, let me know. Know that you don't have to be stuck there. Know that you can actually move through it. And how you can move through it is to actually take one step a little differently than what you have been. Hi, Laura. So good to have you here. Love to have you with me every week. So when you do something a little differently, really step out of your comfort zone. And that comfort zone could be just being at home and isolating yourself. I encourage you and invite you to step out of your comfort zone. That's how you're going to be able to start to walk through the grief that you're in, to start changing how you're feeling. And it starts from within. It doesn't start on the outside. So a couple of things that you could do is build a community. Join my community at Sacred Connections if you'd like. It's only $33 a month, and we meet twice a month in a group, and you get live coaching one-on-one on your grief coaching. So that might be helpful. You can join a support group. You could join an online course, or you can just actually call up a friend and ask someone to walk with you, just to get outside. That might help motivate you a little. If you've been doing that, change up how you're seeing something. Start a journal, start writing things out. There are plenty of ways to start to do some things differently this week. So I encourage you to place in the comments what the one thing that you did differently, and then create a practice of that. Don't do it just once and then go off on your world and continue to what you've been doing. It's time to change that up a little. So that's your channeled inspiration. Now we're going to draw 3 cards. So Laura says, I've been doing something very different and wrote my first short story and working on my working. That's wonderful. That's great, Laura. I love that. So congratulations. So we're going to draw 3 cards for a prescription. So we're aware of what the week energy will bring. And excuse me, bell already. So it will help you determine, be aware and have information up front so you can respond to the week versus reacting to what occurs. Please show us what we need to know. This one just turned upside down. I love it. The first one was friendships and union. That's wonderful that I just said that. I love it. So why I do these 2 different ways of sharing with you is because it shows you that that information comes through in many ways. And yet when we're not aware, we miss some of those messages. So by channeling it before and then sharing that and then sharing the cards with you, it shows that how it blends together. So friendships and union. This makes complete sense. Like, as I said earlier, is really stepping out of your comfort zone, connecting with other people. You receive intuitions and downloads and romance and connection. So, well, whether it's romance, like a physical romance or romancing yourself, this week it's really important to step into something a little different. To start romancing yourself, whether that means connecting with friends or loved ones, and then receive the intuition and the downloads. Start to be aware of the energy and the messages that you're receiving and start trusting them. Act on little things that you're receiving. That if you receive something that just this thought just pops out of your head out of nowhere and it has nothing to do with what you were doing, then that is a message for you to start thinking a little differently, to start stepping into things a little differently. And yeah. Oh, so Callie. So my little kitty wants to say hello. And so, yeah, so that's the message this week. Connecting with other people, do one thing differently, create a practice of that, and start to trust the intuition, the downloads that you're receiving as you start to romance yourself. Whether that could be a walk, it could be a bath, it could be lighting a candle and reading a book. Start romancing yourself and taking care of you, because where it starts is inwardly, not outwardly. And if you haven't already joined the From Grief to Belief Stepping Stones, that group is a private group for those who have lost a loved one. And I do a separate live every Monday morning for them as well. And so there's a great message there for you. So I hope that you have a wonderful week. I will put up these lives, recorded lives over the next 3 weeks, and then I will be back live again. So I hope have a great week. Take care, Laura.